Hey everybody, it's the coach. This is Thursday Night Football on EA Sports. Up next, we've got what ought to be a great matchup between the Green Bay Packers and the Seattle Seahawks. I'll see you again at halftime as we preview some of the action coming up on Sunday. But for now, it's Thursday Night Football. And on the call, as always, it's Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Thank you, Coach. We are in the Pacific Northwest as we get set for football at CenturyLink Field here in Seattle. These folks love their football in Seattle. This was the scene a moment ago as the home squad came out of the tunnel, and it was just absolutely deafening in this building. They're set for football, so are we, as the Seahawks get set to match up with the Green Bay Packers. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, you look at this Seahawks team as they get ready here. They come in on a pretty good roll here, winners of 3 straight.
And going back through the tape, I thought they looked pretty good last week. It was a solid win, a comprehensive win.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Packers, they've been cooking these last couple months, winners in 7 of their last 8 games.
And if you extrapolate that out to a full season, they'd be 14-2. And anyone in the NFL today would sign up for that.
The NFL season has hit high gear, and off we go in Week 11 on EA Sports. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. So out come the Seahawks now for their first possession. They'll be led out by their 5'11" quarterback from Wisconsin by way of NC State, and that's Russell Wilson.
And I thought it was a really nice performance last week by him. 3 touchdown passes. I think that signifies exactly what he was getting done. He did have the 1 interception.
But that's the ratio you say you're okay with, right?
If you go 3-1, you're going to be pretty happy over the course of the season. And let's face it, he'll never close doors. He probably told his agent, hey, what's the deal? I should have had a perfect game.
Throwing now, Wilson on first down. That's caught by the rookie, Rashad Penny. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 16 yards right off the bat and a first down.
Nice little nifty play for him there. Yeah, that's the ability to read a defense and utilize players that don't often get picked up in coverage easily. And I'm talking about being able to use the backside of the backfield. Because I know that when I used to cover, hey, we got everybody covered. Oh, he just snuck out there, and they just got a nice first down there.
What do we love to say? Get those backs into space, right? They were able to do that there. Nice pickup on first down. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Calling no gain on the play, and it'll be second down. And here's the starting offensive unit for Seattle.
And wide receiver Tyler Lockett continues to improve as a route runner and a playmaker downfield. But let's not forget his main use, kick returner. Knows how to break open a game in that area as well.
The stop for no gain brings up 2nd and 10 from the 20. They go play action with Wilson. And the tight end Dixon left side. No gain that time on the completion, and it'll be 3rd down. And let's get a look at the Green Bay defense.
A 4th rounder back in 2012 out of Iowa, Mike Daniels, has been about as good a 4th rounder as you could hope for. A strong defensive tackle, named an alternate selection to the Pro Bowl after the 2017 season. Why? Ability to play the point of attack, and also get upfield and spill plays in the backfield.
They had the catch on 2nd down, but it didn't help at all, and now they're looking at 3rd down here. Now Wilson. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Well, these sacks are really piling up. Last week, it was a half-dozen sacks. And here's one on the opening drive.
And it has the potential to be what we call a gap, a game-altering play. Because, let's face it, you just mentioned 6 sacks last week. Now, if you're an offense and you saw that on tape, you got to think to yourself, maybe I bring people in, keep them in, and try and protect my quarterback. It didn't work on that play.
Now the first carry for Ty Montgomery. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down. So a look here at the key inactives, and we got this list before the game down on the field. They tell us the same thing every time, don't they? Next man up.
No excuses. Be ready to play. That's the mantra of every organization. The key is having guys on the roster who are capable of filling in and playing at a high level. That's when you know you've drafted well, scouted free agents well, and stocked your team just the way you're supposed to.
Now, meanwhile, here's a second down throw that's knocked away and incomplete. And this offensive unit should have a lot of juice coming off the big output that they had 1 week ago.
Nothing like confidence, is there? When you've played well the week before, you can't wait to get back on the field and do it again.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. A give. This is Montgomery. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. That'll be good for 6, but now it's fourth down.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. You'll take that anytime you hand the ball to a back.
And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, and that could have been trouble.
I know there's no magnet in the ball, but sometimes for the punt returner, after sway, doesn't it? He has it, he loses it, somehow the ball finds its way back to him.
Atone for his sin, and you know he's taking a deep sigh of relief right now. The first down carry for Davis. And he'll get this down only to about the 46. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. These two teams met in week 1 a year ago, and that went to the Packers in a slugfest 17-9. Now, remember, they also met in the NFC title game of the 2014 season. It was the Seahawks who prevailed there 28-22 on a Jermaine Kearse touchdown catch in overtime. A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
I know our vantage point might be a little bit better way up here, but that looked like an ill-advised throw to me. I didn't see anything open, and this play just didn't look right from the beginning.
It did not. I thought he might get outside and just chuck it away. Dangerous pass, incomplete. On third down, Wilson. And that is incomplete.
Sometimes the coverage is so good, no matter what you're doing on offense, you just can't shake anyone free. They try their best to find someone open, but they took away every passing alley, every angle, and shut the play down.
And now the Packers get set to go. And it's only November, but the playoffs, we know how it works. They'll be here before you know it. If it ended today, they would be the #1 seed.
And that's a great spot to be in, but I love the phrase, if it ended today. And I guarantee you, that's what they've discussed in their locker room, in their meeting rooms. Yeah, we know where we'd be if it ended today, but we also know it's not ending today.
Right.
So they've got to continue to play the type of ball that put them in the spot where they're #1 in their conference.
And a look at Seattle's defense.
And middle linebacker Bobby Wagner, he's playing the absolute perfect position. He's the type of guy that you build around. The cornerstone of a defense, his ability to play the run, the pass, and his leadership skills, you get the full package with him.
On second down, Montgomery. And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and they'll be faced with a 3rd and inches. That's his longest run of the first quarter. And, Charles, we talked before the game about them needing to establish the run game. They'll be looking for more of that.
And they got to the perimeter. So that tells me that that's part of the game plan of what they want to get done today. So they'll have some complimentary runs where he'll run it to the inside. But it appears that when they want the big yardage, they think they can get to the outside and make it happen.
A great effort there to shed the contact, and it helps them pick up the first. Just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted but it winds up falling incomplete. He was all over that route defensively. Now, they had 2 picks last week as a unit. Couldn't quite grab that one.
Patience, Grasshopper. Patience. It's early in this game, but you like the fact that they're around the football early. They're going to be upset they didn't haul that one in, but at least they're there at the moment of truth to make a play on it.
By the way, where did the grasshopper thing come from? I know it's been around for a long time.
Yeah, you know, I'll have to tell you that some other time.
All right, back to football. The threat of a second straight punt to start the game is looming as they come up 3rd and 10. On 3rd down, they go Montgomery. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. 4 yards on the pickup there, but it's going to take him to 4th down.
It's really simple to say that they know their identity, that they are a passing team. But one of the reasons that they're so successful, they know how to mix in the run and make sure that they keep the defense off balance and not able to just simply say, let's go get the quarterback and disrupt things.
Just a 2-yard return there following a punt of 48. And it'll be Seahawk football as they take over deep in their own territory. Wilson and the Seahawks take over now 1st and 10 at their own 16. Wilson now off the bootleg. Pressure comes and Wilson's going to go down.
2 sacks last week, another one right here. He's been unblockable lately, and I think that goes all the way back to not just his offseason, but the film study he's been doing during the week, because I think he's found matchups that he likes, and he's capitalizing.
A few times he's even defeated double teams. He doesn't care at this point. Now Rashad Penny, and he's up past the 10 to about the 12. They get 5 yards on the run there. Still left staring at a 3rd and about 14.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Third and long, it's Wilson. He lets it fly from Lockett. He's got a man, complete. And all the way down to the 42. It's a big play on 3rd down for the Seahawks. 46 yards.
Now that play will end up on the highlights, and you'll see it all over the place. But what you won't see, the offensive line that bought the extra time, that allowed for the big completion downfield, those guys made that play possible.
Tackle there by Clay Matthews.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Down Davis. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. He lost 4 there, and it's 3rd down.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker, and what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Neutral zone infraction, defense.
A little eager there coming in from his outside linebacker position.
You think the hard count
Still
got him there?
Yes.
Maybe that extra hut, you know, that extra emphasis on it. Got him to jump, and they picked up 5 yards.
Off the play fake. Here's Wilson. And the Packers give him nowhere to go, and they bring him down. The 6-time Pro Bowler, Clay Matthews. And that's going to make it 4th down.
That's 3 sacks now, and that's not much of a surprise to me, nor should it be to you. This team, they lead the league in sacks.
Yeah, they do. This is something that we are starting to witness time and time again. The Packer offense now ready to get back onto the field. They're going to have to go at least 50, 60 yards here if they want to ensure that they don't have to punt the ball like they did last time.
Yeah, so what you're saying is we're not playing to just get out of the shadow of your own goal line, right? You're playing to make sure the punter doesn't see the field again. So it's not picking up a couple of first downs. You want to pick up 5 or 6 first downs and make sure you move the ball into their territory.
It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
And that's a nice gain by him on first down, picking up some key yardage.
Now Hundley. And almost intercepted. If he could have picked it, maybe some space to go the other way. Instead, it's third down.
Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense if that fell harmlessly to the ground. Throwing, Hundley out to his left. And he finds Jimmy Graham. And he'll be taken down, but they've got this one up to the 35-yard line. A good pickup there of 22. So finally completes his first pass. Credit the defense, though. They've been showing him some different looks, keeping him off balance.
Yeah, I like the observation that you had there, because when you give him different looks and give any quarterback different looks, it takes just a little bit longer to process sometimes, and you don't throw the ball with the same confidence. You're not sure that that's where you should go with the football, and that's worked for the defense early in this game, and now he's got his first completion. Let's see if his confidence comes back and he starts to get into a nice little groove.
Now back to throw. Dancing to his left. Now he'll throw deep left side. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
And you just know when that play call came in, their eyes lit up, because anytime you get a chance to take a big shot downfield, that's a lot of fun, and they missed an opportunity.
The Packers on third down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is going to be 3rd and 13. And off comes Montgomery. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. A good pickup there, 7 yards, but it brings up 4th down.
This drive is turning into an extended one, and the guy carrying the ball, he's becoming more like a body blows guy. Every carry is putting some damage on the defense. So after a while, I'm not too sure how many guys are going to want to run up and tackle him.
And that one hits at the 7, but bounds into the end zone, and that'll be a touchback. So let's glance at a player spotlight now with Russell Wilson. And maybe he's starting to wave the white flag a little bit. He's playing pretty well, but the pressure, it's got to him.
Has to find a way to step around it, step through it, or just handle it. Because, as you mentioned, he's having a pretty good day overall. Just the hits keep coming and taking those sacks. That's not the way that they want to finish a ball game with their quarterback on the ground so much.
Now, he'd like to stay upright. When he's been upright, he's been pretty good. They'll start on the ground. It's Rashad Penny. And he will lose yardage on the play. Back at his own 19-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. They keep it on the ground. This time it's Davis. And nowhere for him to go again. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage. That's it. Call it no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a 3rd down. And he had a nice play there from his free safety position to hold him to nothing.
And, Brandon, remember when the free safety was always back away from the line of scrimmage?
That's changed.
They always that changed in a big way. The way we see it now, they're almost mirrors between the free safety and the strong safety. One will be up, one will be back, or sometimes both will be in the same spot. On that play, free safety was there, no gain.
They convert on 3rd with a gain of 22.
I don't care how many times you tell the story, it never loses its luster for me. Doug Baldwin, undrafted out of Stanford, and plays like a #1 receiver should in the NFL. I don't care how you cover him. I don't care that his size isn't great. He's the one that typically comes up with the football.
Absolutely. His roots go all the way back to Gulf Breeze, Florida, where he's from, right on the water near Pensacola, and then, of course, to Stanford, and, boy, he's been good. On 2nd down, Wilson. Flush to his right. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. All that gets him is just a yard, and now it's 3rd down. The Seahawks on 3rd down, 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 8. Play action. Now Wilson. Packer pressure, and down he goes.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. And a great job here. This is going to turn out to be a beauty. This is marked out at about the 3-yard line. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. The results for them so far not that great. Well, not good at all. 3 drives, 3 punts.
Yeah, and now what you're doing is you're looking at your play sheet. You're trying to figure out what you're going against defensively. I wonder, are they showing them something they haven't seen or anticipated in practice, and maybe that's throwing them off? Or do they just have to go to a different play calling section and try and run some offense that way?
2 yards on the carry.
That first down play, all you want to do is wedge out any type of space and try and create enough room. If you have to run the punter out there, he can successfully complete the punt.
Yeah, didn't get a ton there, but at least some positive yardage. They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete.
I think he's a little trigger happy right there, and it turned into an ill-advised throw into their zone.
Well, we know he has confidence. He'll throw it any place, anytime, anywhere. That time it fell incomplete. From deep in their own territory, they look to throw, and this is going to be incomplete. Shaquille Griffin knocking it away that time in coverage.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
And he'll try and hurry the kick, gets it away, but it's not looking that great. And a fair catch is called for. He will take it in to give his guys some excellent field position here. The Seahawks offense now, they get ready to come back onto the field. And still a lot of football to be played in this season. We're only in November. A lot can happen between now and January. But if it ended today, they would just be on the outside of the playoff picture looking in. So a lot to fight for.
Yeah, and wasn't it interesting in our meeting with the coaching staff that they all made sure to let us know, we know where we are right now, but the playoffs don't start tomorrow. We still got some time, and they plan on putting it together, formulating a streak, and the whole month of December is still left to play. They think they can get in.
And they made it very obvious to us that there's no playoff talk in the locker room right now. It's win this game and look to next week.
Excellent focus.
Neutral zone infraction, defense.
So a jump there defensively.
And it's a killer. Watch the football. Don't move across the line of scrimmage until the ball moves.
They will come up on a 1st and 5 following the encroachment penalty. This is Carson. And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. A great play there. His 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Seahawks have taken a first-quarter lead.
I know we don't talk about it enough, but the intelligence level of the guys up front blocking, the offensive linemen, maybe the smartest guys in football. Overall, add in a little bit of athleticism and a whole lot of toughness, you've got a lot to deal with, don't you?
That's why the guys in the backfield get them really nice Christmas gifts, right?
If they're smart, they do.
Out to kick is Janikowski. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Now trotting out there, the Packers getting ready to go. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down. Well, they're making an effort to get the ground game going tonight. So far, it's working.
I like what we're seeing from the offensive line. They seem to have the leverage going, and they're controlling things and reestablishing the line of scrimmage, moving that defensive front backwards. I also like what the runner's giving us, too. It appears that he's been...
It's caught inside the 25. It's a big play there for Green Bay. 54 yards.
In our pregame meeting, all they talked about was keeping him hemmed in and wanting him to make his throws from the pocket because they knew he was pretty dangerous if he got outside, and he just showed it right there. Pretty good arm, too.
A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a first down in the red zone. And this is the 10th carry for Ty Montgomery. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. 10 more there and another first down.
Yeah, they really needed to get something going, didn't they? They had punted on the last 2 possessions. The running game starting to come to the front for them, providing a nice pickup there to keep this drive going.
So 3 plays, already first and goal, and they are wasting little time. Oh, he had 6 points in his hands there. Couldn't hang on. Second down.
Those throwing windows get a lot tighter near the end zone, don't they? And here's the thing. You already probably have 3 points in your hip pocket. You force a throw here and give up an interception, you come away with nothing.
Especially tough in the middle third of the field where he threw that one. He'll look to throw. Steps away to his left. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. He'll end up getting 5 out of that, but now they're looking at third down. This stadium once registered as the loudest roar ever recorded, and you can hear them now. Third and goal. On play action, they'll throw. They'll buy some time right. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on third down.
Illegal touching. Offense.
So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. So on now for the Packers at their all-time leading scorer, Mason Crosby. From the left hash, should be a fairly easy one here. And Crosby puts it through, and they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. A good drive gets them inside the 5, but they could not punch it in.
And credit the defense, too. Make sure that that happens because that was the old bend but don't break approach. Made sure they contained them when they absolutely had to and forced the field goal attempt that went through.
And it's a short kick, taken right around the 19. And they're going to wind up with pretty good starting field position as they get it up past the 35. And Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. Charles, Thursday night game, I think a lot of teams probably say shrink the playbook somewhat. Is that correct?
I think you're right about that because you just don't have the amount of time that you have in a normal week to put in a full playbook. So, as you said, you shrink the playbook, pick out the plays that work best for you. You know what else you're looking for?
What's that?
Who are the freshest guys coming off of the last game to play on a Thursday night? Guys have a little extra pep in their step. You go to them early and often. Muhammad Wilkerson elevated a Temple program that was looking for players like him, and he's carried that on into the NFL. What a terrific play there.
A nice tackle for loss for the former Temple. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
He's the NFL sack leader coming into the game, and now that's 2 more that he's added to his total.
He wants some separation from spot 1 and 2 in that sack category. Oh, boy, he fielded it right on the goal line. Nearly a huge return, as it is. Still a very good one. 24 yards. And it'll be Packer football here. First down and 10. Now a play fake here on first down. Steps away. And they're not able to hook up there. Incomplete. Knocking it away there defensively, Justin Coleman.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up second down.
And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. It'll be a pickup of 5, and that leaves him with 5 more. 3rd and 5 now. Now the offense going to use the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. And welcome back. The offensive unit, they took the timeout. And now they get set to line up as we resume times already. And they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. They'll look to throw here. On the move to his left. And now he'll let this one go deep. Back over the middle. And he can't quite intercept it. Zone coverage, free safety was there. Couldn't come up with it, and now it's 4th down.
Well, it certainly appears that they're going to try and keep getting him the football. It's the 3rd time they've looked in his direction. Unfortunately, haven't completed one yet, but I'm not sure they're going to shy away from him. They feel like they've got something there, and they want to capitalize on it.
I think you're right. We're only in the first quarter, so a lot of opportunities ahead. And the Seahawks get ready to trot out on the field. They're out in front. Last time they had to punt it away. We'll see if they can add to their lead now.
They don't want to go out and punt it away again. This team now wants to get a cushion, put people away. They want to run their offense and have it end up in the end zone.
Takes this to the 27, give him 4 yards.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
This complete to Lockett. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. That goes for a gain of 31. 1 quarter in the books here on a Thursday night. 7-3 the score. We'll be back to Seattle right after this.
The NFL on EA Sports is fueled by Gatorade, the sports fuel company.
Alongside my broadcast partner, Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin hits the Seahawks with a football to begin quarter number 2, and they've got it here with a 1st down. So the big play gets them across midfield now for 1st and 10. They go play action here on 1st down. And it's hauled in by Nick Vanette. Another nice gain, 16 yards there, and a 1st down again.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the 1st down.
Wilson now hitting on 80% of his passes in the early going. 8 of 10. It's 1st down. Wilson. That's going to be caught. That one goes for 24 yards.
I know we just saw a nice throwing catch, but how about the big guys up front buying that time? Yeah, that's exactly what they did. They created time and allowed the space to happen, and it turned into a really nice play.
Wilson will throw again. And too much on that one. It's out of the back of the end zone, incomplete. They don't get the hook up there, but you really have to marvel at how precise he's been throwing the football these last couple weeks.
Oh, that's the perfect word for it, precise, because if you're at 70% or better 2 weeks in a row, you have a job as long as you want one in this league, won't you? I mean, let's face it, it's not just West Coast offense either. He's putting the ball downfield as well.
And he can't corral it. Maybe a big missed opportunity there defensively in the end zone. And now 3rd down.
All right, Captain, it's batten down the hatches time defensively. Dodged 2 pass attempts to the end zone. Now what do you think they're going to try and dial up on 3rd and goal?
Well, knowing them and knowing what we just seen, I think they're throwing it again, don't you?
I think you have to. I think in this situation, you kind of run out of your running plays, fire another one.
And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. Nick Vanette, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Seahawks add on to their lead. Well, it was 3rd and 1. I was expecting runs, so much for that. They pass it, they score it.
That had the feel of the head coach telling the offensive coordinator, you've got 4 downs here. We're going to go for it on 4th down unless there's a disaster on 3rd. Go ahead and take a shot if you want to. And he gratefully accepted the opportunity and did exactly that. If they didn't get it there, they had to feel that they would come back and try it on 4th down.
And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here?
And a big loss here as he's taken down. After the sack, they're staring at a challenge basically from the other side of town. It's 2nd and a country mile. He'll drop to throw. Oh, now he'll try and chuck it deep left side. And he's unable to grab it. Thought he might have had position, couldn't hold on, 3rd down. Seems like this defense, especially the secondary, has really been contesting about every throw in this first half.
Remind me of a good half-court defensive basketball team. Every time a pass is thrown, they're right there in good defensive position, able to affect the play.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Eluding the pressure right. Oh, now he'll try and chuck it deep left. And got his man complete. A big gain of 38 there on 3rd down.
And the key number on that play, 3. 3rd play of the drive, 3rd down, spectacular catch, turns into a 1st down.
1st down saves him from a 3-and-out. 1st down, here's the run with Montgomery. Fighting through. And down inside the 40 to about the 38. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, got to like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a 1st down, but still, you'll take runs like that each and every time, won't you?
Now a run with Montgomery. Touchdown, Packers. Ty Montgomery, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Packers are back within a score.
Well, partner, that was another explosive run, and one thing I've learned in our time in this game, yes, the offensive line has to get a lot of credit, but for big runs to occur, the wide receivers have to block well downfield.
And then you have to have a good guy carrying the ball too, right?
Oh, without a doubt. You need that difference maker lugging the rock.
Crosby with the extra point, and that makes it a 14-10 ball game. Crosby on now to kick it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Here's Russell Wilson and the Seahawk offense now getting set to go again. He's played a pretty clean first half, a touchdown, no interception.
Frankly, that's what they expect out of him. They want to see the ball thrown and thrown well, and he's able to do that and put it in the end zone. They'd love to see more of that before this game finishes. But right now, he's got his team in a good spot.
A good spot, maybe looking for touchdown pass number 2 here in the 2nd quarter. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained. So they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or 2 miss, but that window closed quickly. On 2nd down, here's Penny, and he stopped immediately there. No gain that time, and it leaves him with 3rd and 11 coming up.
What a great play and tackle. As a strong safety, you know what you're taught? That you are a hybrid player. You've got to be able to play the pass back deep, but especially the run up close, almost like a linebacker. And on that play, he took care of every responsibility.
He finds his man, Baldwin. And they work this well upfield across the 45. And a good pickup there of 22. And with that completion, he's now north of 200 yards here in the first half. Boy, a tough start for the secondary defensively.
It is, and it's got to put a dent in their confidence. And, you know, you always want to keep that up and feel like you can always bounce back after plays. But with the kind of numbers he's putting up here, it's starting to wear on them a little bit, I think. So they're looking at each other and trying to figure out what defense will work and how can they play better without getting beat deep for big passes. What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now, we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
Finds a seam inside the 40. And down right around the the 37. So into Packer territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 37-yard line. Now Wilson. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Nick Perry. He's the one to get him, and that's sack number 7 for him on the year.
Hindsight is 20/20, partner. Maybe they should have kept it on the ground again.
Well, it almost looked like the O-line was run blocking again. I mean, they opened up a big hole last time. This time they opened up a hole, and the quarterback got sacked. Now Wilson on 2nd down. And the pressure gets to him again.
I'm starting to wonder if this offensive line just simply doesn't like him. I mean, they've given up 6 sacks in this game. He's had nowhere to go, nowhere to run, and obviously nowhere to hide.
And all those sacks in the first half, this is just complete domination. Here's Wilson throwing on 3rd and long. And he's got a man open. That's Marshall. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or 2 shy of the 10. Back on 3rd down.
I'm sorry, but it's almost unfair. I mean, Brandon Marshall can make so many plays, but even when you think he's covered,
he's not.
No, he's really not. He uncovers and makes a play on you and picks up good yardage in doing so.
Oh, and it's incomplete. That would have been big in the end zone if he could have held on. Instead, it's 2nd down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Here's Wilson to throw. Blitz coming, and down he goes.
Well, someone's closing in on the league lead in sacks. He came into the game in the top 5. Now you add 2 more to his total.
Wilson to the Seahawks looking for something big following the sack. It's 3rd and long here. Now it's Wilson. He's got the tight end, Vanette. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. Sebastian Janikowski to try the Seahawks field goal. And Janikowski bangs it through. And that moves him up by a touchdown now at 17-10. A dozen plays on that drive that ends with the field goal.
Let's go ahead and break out some of the old chestnuts here, right, partner? Keep the ball in front, rally to it, and make the tackle. Right? No big plays given up, no balls over your head. Bend, don't break.
Hold on. Chestnuts?
You like
Come
that
on.
one?
What does that mean, break out? That just because you break chestnuts?
I'm not sure about that, but I'm just going with why they said that. I have no idea.
Out comes Ty Montgomery and the rest of his offensive mates to take over. Now, he's having himself a little bit of a banner game. His team right now, though, losing.
Needs a little bit of help, and I kind of equate it to a basketball game where you have the big score, and sometimes your strategy is, okay, he can go ahead and have all of his points. Let's hold down everyone else, and that's the way you win the game. And right now, he needs everyone else to start scoring, quote-unquote, as he's been.
Yeah, and he's hoping to keep it close so maybe they can keep it on the ground, not start to go through the air as much. To the right side, and he's got more complete. Touchdown, Packers! Jamon Moore with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Packers are within an extra point of tying this thing up. And he had time there. I mean, you give any quarterback that length of time, he'll make you pay.
It just puts way too much stress on guys trying to cover downfield because, as you said, you that much time in the pocket, he can scan the field, find the open person. That's exactly what happened there. And what was the end result again?
Touchdown. So we're right back where we started, all even as the kick's away. The Seahawks offense now, they get ready to head back onto the field. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But we also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
Tremendous coverage there. Just did not catch the football and complete the interception. But what do they say all the time? If he had really good hands, he'd be playing offense.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up third.
When you think of Mike Daniels, you think of strength. Hard to knock off the football, but surprising quickness and ability to move and evade people. How about that play there?
Well, he can squat 600 pounds, so that's how he caught people's attention coming. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Kenny Clark. He's the one that gets him down. It'll be a loss of 5, and it'll bring up 4th down. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. Here's Jackson. A nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Packers offense now. They get ready to head back onto the field. The last possession, these guys were able to tie the game with a touchdown, and now they'll have a chance to move out in front.
Yeah, let's give a big assist to the defense who got the ball back. The special teams went out there, handled things. They've got it. They've got momentum. I know they're eager to get out there and put it on display.
They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10. To Montgomery to begin the drive. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
From our vantage point, that was just one bad play by the offensive line in a series of really good ones tonight. But I know that they're going to be really ticked off. It's a lot like a baseball pitcher losing a no-hitter late in the game.
And he's got it. What a catch on the sideline. He got 29 yards that time. Those are the kinds of plays right there that show you why he's the number 3 man in the NFL in terms of receiving yards.
Also tells you there's a full combination of what he's got going in his game. You name it, from route running to catching the football. That's why he's able to produce those types of numbers.
After review of the play, the ruling on the field stands.
Well, he challenged the play. It did not pay off.
And that means he lost a timeout in that challenge.
And as a coach, you hate that. Don't know if you took the advice of the player, you threw it yourself, but it didn't go your way.
At the end of the day, it all comes back to the head coach. He has the final determination on whether to actually challenge the play or not. In this case, it didn't pay off for him.
And that's got to be so heartbreaking. You throw that flag, you probably feel really confident, and then all of a sudden, boom, you lose the challenge.
Yeah, when you take a look at it, you're throwing that flag because you believe you're going to be right. And when it comes back the other way, you have to regroup.
Oh, nearly picked. Almost intercepted, but he couldn't hang on, and it's 3rd down. Pretty lucky to get the football back. Had his target out there waving the arms, saying I'm open, but maybe didn't see him quick enough.
And I know the jokes are always about defensive backs' hands. What really actually happens, you don't get many opportunities. You get over anxious, and you start to think about taking it away and going the other way instead of focusing and catching the ball.
Meanwhile, on 3rd down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete. Just what Seattle was hoping for. The coverage holds, and now 4th down. And Crosby puts it through. And with that, they take the lead here 20-17. No problems in the field goal department so far. He's 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
After the made field goal, now Crosby will do the kickoff duties. This is taken at the 3. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. Russell Wilson now gears up to lead the offense again. Been a decent start for him here in this first half, but they're losing. And I think as the captain of the offense, you probably always feel like you need to do more in that situation.
The best have always felt that way, and they won't settle for anything less. So right now his goal is to increase what he's doing on the field, try to make sure his teammates come along with him, and he feels like if I do better, everyone will do better. And that's what we're seeing from him right now. Got to have a little extra determination.
Yeah, the little extra determination. He has thrown the touchdown pass. No interceptions for him personally to this point. A handoff to Penny. Absolutely nobody fooled there. He's going nowhere fast as he stopped behind the line of scrimmage. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And it's going to be 3rd down and a ways to go here. 3rd and 14.
Partner, you mind if I take off this headset and put on a coaching headset?
You want to get this running game going?
I want to get this running game going. I'm going down there and saying, gentlemen, we have got to run the football. We've got to get it going right now.
Yeah, to this point in the second. Pressure comes, and Wilson's going to go down.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been on constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. With it is Jackson. A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And possession will switch hands. 1st and 10. The Green Bay offense now about ready to take possession here. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
Back to throw. Rush coming, and he's taken down. The Packers on 3rd down. They've converted a third of their opportunities, 3 for 9. This will be 3rd and 15. They'll drop the throw. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And they take over already 5 yards deep into the red zone at the 15-yard line. A little careless with the football, and he also had a fumble loss last week, didn't he?
He certainly did, and when I'm watching him play, the one thing that comes to mind is always remember, traffic, turbulence, people around you, 2 hands. Get 2 hands on the ball. Grip it tight. I know it looks cool to have it in one hand, but put it away, tuck it away, because you've got to take care of the ball.
Only a yard on the keeper, and it'll be 2nd down.
And as we've seen throughout this season, it's no picnic trying to score touchdowns against this unit. They're ranked number 1 against the run. But it's also difficult because it's not easy to throw the ball against them either.
On 2nd down, here's Wilson. And he's got it. Caught in the end zone for the Seahawks touchdown. Russell Wilson with 2 first-half touchdown passes. And the Seahawks are able to strike for 6. These 2 teams in this first half, it's been fun. Back and forth, back and forth. Well, it's not fun for the defensive coordinators, but offensive coordinators are enjoying it.
Yeah, they're having streaks here, aren't they? Being able to put scores together and really bunch them up, and we have a tight game here. You know, we often talk about having the right shoes for the right turf. Today it's track shoes, because that's what we've seen with these offenses.
Yeah, it's been an absolute track meet so far, and fun to watch. So they've been unable to capitalize on the great field position as of yet. Here's 3rd and 9. Off the play fake. Here's Wilson. End zone caught. Touchdown, Seattle. Russell Wilson with 2 first-half touchdown passes. And the Seahawks are able to strike for 6. And there's going to be a stoppage here. The booth wants to take another look at this potential touchdown.
The catch and the touchdown, they were the end result of a terrific route run by the receiver.
After review of the play, the ruling on the field stands.
They had to go to the monitor, get his 4, and this touchdown will count. Janikowski adds the extra point, and that will make this a 4-point game. Out to kick is Janikowski. Jackson now to return. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30 to the 33-yard line. Out is Brett Hundley and the rest of the offense as they'll take over here. Been a decent start for him here in this first half, but bottom line, his team's losing. They got to fix something.
And it starts with him. He has to keep that little quarterback strut going right now to make sure this team sees him as confident. Continue to try and up his game. But just let them know, hey, if I'm around, if I'm the one calling signals and throwing the football, just follow me, we'll get there. Sometimes that will do more to elevate a team than anything else.
See if he has that confidence. On the ground, it's Montgomery. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. Give him 4 on the ground there. They're now left with 3rd and 6.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain considering the blitz that they just had against them.
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. On the run, he'll let this go deep right side. So they took a shot there on 3rd down, couldn't get it. Now it's 4th. Well, he's been the guy already over 100 yards here in the first half. Could have had a lot more if he would have been able to haul that one in.
Yeah, in fact, our statistician Marvin was already handing me a piece of paper with that yardage totaled on it. He thought that catch was going to happen just as you and I did as well.
And that is much too long. That's into the end zone for a touchback. Well, let's gaze our attention as the offense takes the field on Rashad Penny. He's hoping to get it going. They're hoping to get him going, too. You know, he's about ready to pop one here in the second quarter. He's hoping.
And his offensive line teammates, they want to get one of those, too, because they want to continue to run the football. Most offensive linemen like that part of the game better than pass protection because they're not taking blows. They're actually dealing them out. So what they want to do is show the coaches, hey, if we pop one, we're having success. That way they won't go away from the running game.
He'll be hoping to pop one, break one here this go-around. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. They go play action with Wilson. Taking a shot here for Marshall. So the long attempt falls innocently to the ground, and it brings up 3rd.
Fans do love the long ball, don't they? And he already found his guy once. Tried to give him another chance there, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. Couldn't connect, but as you alluded to, he does have that touchdown from earlier, trying to keep him in the rhythm. On 3rd down, Wilson. He's got it complete. Mike Davis. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. A good pickup there, 26 yards. And now with that completion, he's north of 200 yards here in the first half.
And he's going to break our statistician Marvin, isn't he? Because Marvin right now is just tallying it up. Hope his hand doesn't hurt too much doing this or keeps hitting the calculator. But my goodness, what a start he is off to. By the end of this game, he could have monster numbers. He just wants to continue to be accurate.
A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
I once had a defensive player in the NFL tell me, if I beat and dominate the guy across from me, I'm helping my team. Well, winning one-on-one battles is always a part of the game, but when you have good team defense, as we just saw there, one broken tackle, but he didn't get away because the rest of the guys arrived to put him on the ground.
And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
On 1st and 10, it's Wilson. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he's got this down to the 35. They get 10 more there, and I believe that'll be enough for another first down. It will. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And past the 30 down to about the 27. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards. And it's 2nd and 2.
That's a strong pickup right there on first down. And as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And now running right through it. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs.
We both know it's difficult, but they've made it look effortless out there. Through the air, on the ground, they've moved the ball with relative ease.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play. And that'll make it 2nd and 12. A rare misstep on that last play because the drive has been strong, but now it's 2nd and 12. Now they'll throw it with Wilson. Nowhere to turn this time, and he goes down. Sacked back at the 29. Clay Matthews in there to get him. Sack number 14 for him on the year.
But enough takes a start to have a good drive. Quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
Now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
Now it's Wilson out to the flat. That's complete to his running back. 1:57 to go in this first half. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. And Janikowski bangs it through. And high fives for that one as that drive ends in 3. So no problems at all on that one. And you know, there's virtually no win. This is a kicker's dream here tonight.
It absolutely is, isn't it? So to me, with no wind, it should be a passer's dream as well, right? But in this case, the defense held out. They had to force the field goal.
Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. Out is Brett Hundley and the rest of the offense as they'll take over here. He's doing his job, but the bottom line, they're losing. They've got a deficit to make up here, and he knows it.
And quarterbacks who last in this league learn that lesson really early. You may have had a great stat line and felt pretty good about how you played, but if your team didn't win, it almost doesn't matter. And right now, he's adopted that attitude. How do I get better? How does my team get better? How do we find a way to win the game?
No, he's hoping to lead his team to a successful drive. Throwing, Hundley. And now he'll let this one go deep. Back over the... And that's caught inside the 35. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. That one goes for 36 yards.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
Now a give. This is the fullback, Ripkowski. And he will cross the 30 down to the 29-yard line. Tackle made there by Frank Clark.
Now that's the defense that they were looking for, being able to get extra bodies to the point of attack to deal with the big guy carrying the ball. You really don't want to be in a position where it's a one-on-one tackle with him.
On play action, they'll throw. Rolling to his left. And left side here, it's Graham. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. A good gain of 14 there, and it moves the chains. Now a play fake here on first down. And incomplete. He dropped it in the end zone.
Right up to that point, I was about to say he's had a pretty good half catching the football, but let's just be honest about it. He should have caught that one.
And he knows that. That was one right in his breadbasket and one he normally catches. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Now Hundley, flushed out right. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. And prior to this 3rd and 2 play, we're going to get a timeout call, as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in this first half. The Packers on 3rd down. They're hitting at just 30%, 3 for 10. This time they face a 3rd and 2. They'll set up a throw. That'll be incomplete with 9 seconds now showing on the clock. So they won't get a touchdown, but here's a chance to at least get 3 to end the first half. From the right hash, and this one just a chippy. And Crosby puts it through. And the drive will wind up yielding 3. So the 3 points here, they're still down, but they put somewhat of a dent into that lead going into the break.
Anything helps when you're trying to chip away at a lead, but they do know that they're going to need a little bit better effort in the second half.
After the made field goal, now Crosby will do the kickoff duties. It's a short kick, taken near the 18. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. Final play of the first half, barring a penalty, as they come up on 1st and 10. Final play of the half, it's Wilson. Trying to lob it in there, but it's incomplete. So we've reached halftime in a wild first half. We'll take a minute to catch our breath as we send you cross-country to Orlando. Jonathan Coachman is there and has our EA Sports halftime report.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. We'll get back to you and CD in a minute. First, it's time to take a look at what we've got coming your way this weekend in the NFL. Plenty of good matchups in that 1 o'clock Eastern window. It'll be noon at Soldier Field in Chicago. And a big test for the Bears, as they'll get set to tangle with the Minnesota Vikings. More good stuff later in the afternoon, one being down in the desert, where it'll be the Cardinals at home in Glendale, taking on the Oakland Raiders. And finally, on Cyber Monday, put away the credit card and join Monday Night Football, as the Titans pay a visit to their former home in Houston. In our game has been Russell Wilson, who was dynamic, as usual, in that first half. He's over 300 yards passing already. How high can he go? To find out, let's kick it back over to Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. That'll be taken in the end zone. Solid return, pretty good field position. And they'll start at the 32-yard line. The Packers offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works. Now Montgomery. And some space here. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. A really nice pickup of 14 yards, and it moves the sticks.
Most players will tell you that night games, while they can be fun, they're really hard to prepare for because you wake up on game day and all you want to do is get to the stadium and let's get going. But you got to bank that fire a little bit and hold it until the evening. It's almost like a Broadway premiere. You got to wait until the nighttime to go out there in front of the bright lights. And boy, has he harnessed himself really well, and now he's unleashing it on the opponents.
Another big hitter there. This one good for 18.
On any given pass play, you never know exactly where your exit points are going to be. On this play, he was flushed to his left, still on the run, able to accurately throw the football for a nice first down.
Montgomery. He gets away from one, and he won't get much. Maybe a couple. Down inside the 35 to the 34.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Being chased out left. This will be caught inside the 10. And he'll head out of bounds inside the 10. Mark him down at the 9. A really nice gain of 25 yards. Well, we haven't been shortchanged on offense. Another fun play to watch there on the
feel of, what, a turkey bowl, a Thanksgiving day. You know, when we get together this year and the Davises and the Gaudens get together, that's what our playbook's going to look like they're drawing them up in the dirt. And so far, it's working for both of them.
A good run on first down, and now they contemplate a second and goal situation. That's what they wanted out of that first down play. Run it down there. Now they're knocking on the door.
The only thing that would have been better was getting it in, and now they can do whatever they want because they've got confidence on their side.
And he'll take this into the end zone for a Green Bay touchdown. A great effort there. His 14th touchdown now on the year. And the Packers are able to cash in for 6. Solid job up front. Really just a solid job all the way around to get that one in.
That was well executed, wasn't it? Well blocked, well run. End result, 6 points.
Touchdown. Crosby connects on the extra point. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Crosby on now to kick it away. This will be taken in at the 1. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Here comes the Seahawks offensive unit. They'll have it first to begin the 3rd. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
Second and 10 now. Wilson. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It's way too tight. Unable to find anyone open.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. And the Packers give him nowhere to go, and they bring him down. Clay Matthews in there to get him, and that is sack number 15 for him on the year. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest ones, maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. 0 accountability, and a sack resulted.
The Packers offense now heading back out onto the field. We have seen a lot of points here in this quarter. For us up here in the booth, it's been fun to watch. The defensive coordinators probably scratching their heads.
Yeah, they're going a little bit crazy right now. But let's face it, all of our friends who play fantasy, they're enjoying the heck out of this show because most of them are creating and getting a bunch of points.
Yeah, points certainly not at a premium here. So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. They'll look to throw here. And boy, that one drops incomplete, but if he was hit a fraction sooner, it may have been a fumble. Boy, the numbers throwing the football just not trending in the right direction. Last week he was under 50%. He's under 50% again here.
And we haven't gotten an announcement, but it appears to me that he might be a little dinged up and is just trying to play through. You know, he's one of those tough guys that wants to answer the bell each and every play for his team. That might be throwing off his accuracy.
Got a man. It's his tight end, Lance Kendricks. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. A big third down conversion with a gain of 28.
Looked like the defense put pretty good pressure on him, but he's able to flush out to his right to try and evade people. On the run, had to get on his horse. Still accurately throws a nice pass for a first down.
They pitch it out to Montgomery. Shrugs the tackle.
Nice.
And he'll be out of bounds, taking it just shy of the 10 at the 11 or the 12. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
They'll keep pounding here with Montgomery. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. The 6 yards on the pickup, and it leaves him with a 1st and goal.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. They'll set up to throw. Buying time to his left. And they will score. It's a Packer touchdown. Brett Hundley, his 2nd touchdown of the night. And the Packers add 6 to their lead. A good, sustained drive there in this 3rd quarter, capping it off with a touchdown to give them a nice 2-score advantage.
It was actually a fun one to watch, wasn't it? I mean, for me, seeing the mix of what they did, how they moved the ball downfield, very sharp, too. Each and every play seemed to be executed with great dispatch.
Crosby on now to kick it away. This will be taken very short. And they'll be set up pretty nicely here as they have it up to the 35-yard line. The Seattle now ready to march onto the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency. Move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
Now it's Penny, and that one goes for about 6 as he's taken down just shy of the 45.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. On 3rd and 1, Wilson able to push his way through. He finds his man, Baldwin. First down, Seahawks. Wilson to Baldwin.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
Penny, a first down carry. And this will be taken across midfield and into Green Bay territory. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. So 2 first downs, and that moves the ball to the 42 now, 1st and 10.
Hey, 4 down. Nice, move, team.
Here's a give to Penny, and this one's going to go the wrong way, losing yardage back at the 42. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. He already has 2 sacks to his credit, now another tackle for loss.
And you know how you can always identify who was supposed to block him? They're the ones helping up the person who just got knocked to the ground with the ball, right? Whether it's a running play or a pass play, they've got to figure out a way to slow him down. Maybe you chip him with a second guy. Maybe you just out-and-out double him. Maybe you make sure you take the ball and throw it as far away from him as possible, because right now he is wrecking things for them. He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down to throw on 3rd down. Open man, it's Burnett. We convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Scheme, so he doesn't get hit back there. He's got a chance to step up with supreme confidence and deliver it downfield for a nice completion.
Hit as he throws there, incomplete. An incomplete pass on 1st down. Here's 2nd and goal.
Hurry up, here we go. Green, 39, green.
They'll give it to him up the middle. And he's able to find some room as they get him down after a good run. A very valuable 9-yard pickup, and now they're set up a little better here for 3rd and goal.
Well, sometimes I get caught in hyperbole, but I think they desperately need to punch this one in. They're running out of time.
Yeah, 2-score game, 2nd half. You're down here. This is the time to put it in the end zone.
Yeah, not going to get much better than this for an opportunity.
He's going to flip one out here to his running back. He went backwards 5 yards there on 3rd down to bring up 4th.
When you lose that kind of yardage on a pass play, you often expect it to be a sack. But that wasn't the case there. They completed the pass. Probably would have been better off just dropping the football and making an incompletion as opposed to catching it and losing that kind of yardage.
So that one is his 3rd of the game. Now, if you're wondering, that's only halfway to his career high, as he once had 6 field goals.
Brandon, but 6? Let's hope we don't get that again, please. Can we see a few touchdowns here and there?
That'd be nice. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Out is Brett Hundley and the rest of the offense as they'll take over here. He is looking to help his team build their lead after trailing at halftime. They've got to like the spot they're in right now.
They have to love it, but as you and I both know, cliche alert coming here. You always do as your last possession, but I think that they like, as you said, the spot they're in and how confidently they're playing at this point.
But again, just a 1-possession lead, looking to expand that now. A solid run on 1st down, gain of 7, leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
Another good run for him. What else is new? That'll put him right at 150 yards for the game, so he's really made his presence felt in this one.
Escaping the pressure right. They find some open field here. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. 4 yards there as they let him out of the pocket, and he got enough for the 1st.
Offensively, they liked their situation, so they tried to take a shot downfield, but no one was open. So it was tuck it in run time, and he picks up a 1st down.
On the carry, it's Montgomery. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
But no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on 1st down, that fits the bill.
Again, they'll go ground with Montgomery. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. It's a loss of 4. Now 3rd down.
But that certainly felt like an example of the defense just saying, okay, we've had enough. We've gotten mashed all night long. About time we got a good play in. But flip it over to the offensive side. They've got to be really upset that they allowed a play like that to happen. They were pitching such a great game.
Montgomery hit, and the ball is loose. And the Seahawks have picked it up.
They may have the edge on the scoreboard, but that hasn't made them passive, has it? I mean, they've dialed up a pretty good run blitz there. And Brandon, you know that all blitzes aren't just designed to get to the quarterback and the passer. Sometimes you're just trying to take away every gap, every hole that might be created in the running game, and they did it to perfection and caused a fumble there.
Took away the gaps, took away the holes, took away the football.
After review of the play, the running on the field is
Here's
reversed.
J.K. Scott now as he's on to punt for Green Bay. He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. And he didn't quite have the backspin on that one. It hits at the 4 and continues into the end zone. It's a touchback. Here's Russell Wilson and the Seahawk offense now getting set to go again. He's hoping to channel his first half play. They had the lead at halftime, was playing well. Flip the script here in the 3rd quarter a little bit.
I think he misses the Pee-wee days, you know, when you just got the orange slice at halftime, right? And remember, there weren't any real adjustments then, right? You weren't looking at some tape, right? You weren't looking at stuff off of the Surface tablets. You just went back out and played. Right now, maybe the adjustments have caught up to him.
And we'll see. Maybe he just needs a couple orange slices here for this drive. Again from the 20 after the incompletion. Here's 2nd and 10. Again on 2nd and 10. It's Wilson. And that's complete to the right side. It's Marshall. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. He's up to 70 yards receiving now as that last catch gets him a 1st down. And passing yardage-wise, now up over 350 in this game. Pretty nice performance.
Definitely that, which usually means you're putting a lot of pressure on guys trying to cover. If you're a defensive back and they put over 350 yards on you, you've had a long day. The key to everything, if you're doing it without throwing interceptions or turning the ball over. Brandon, it looked like he had his hands on it for a moment, but let's face it, that was going to be a tough catch all the way because of the presence of the defense right there as he was trying to haul it in.
Yeah, nice job to force the incompletion. 2nd and 10. It's Wilson again. Underneath to Davis. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure and got rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice game.
And when they're blitzing like that, running back usually a good spot to go with the football.
Without a doubt, because he's right in your sight line or he's near you. So you're able to just get it to him easily. And once he gets in space, that's usually a good matchup for him.
And a nice gain of 21 yards.
And another thing that makes a comeback route really effective is that oftentimes after you've made the initial move, receivers breaking away from the defensive back, and that makes it a really tough play to defend. A nice chunk of yardage picked up there.
Now Wilson on 1st down. Nowhere to turn here, and he's going to go down. Back at about the 37-yard line. Oh, free safety blitz. That can be a gamble, but it proves fruitful there.
Yeah, you're exactly right about the gamble because oftentimes the free safety is the last line of defense against a long pass. And when he comes at the quarterback, he'd better get home and make the play. Otherwise, a big play could result for the offense.
On 2nd down, Wilson over the middle, and it's incomplete. He was going for the tight end, Nick Vanette, and it's 3rd down.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes, and you need to put some heat on it, it helps have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. And this one is incomplete.
Okay, let's decide here. He was open, right? Not extraordinarily open, but open enough that if you're an NFL quarterback,
yeah,
you've got to make that throw, right?
Yeah.
That's got to be completed.
9 times out of 10, that's a completed pass.
Yeah, he missed that one and missed it in a big way.
And his kick is good. Oh, he just did tuck it into the bottom of that left corner. And that'll bring him back within 4. It can be a thankless job sometimes to be a kicker, but they're thanking him right now. That's now 4 field goals. He's kept him in the game.
He sure has. That offense has got to find its rhythm because I'm not sure that just kicking field goals is going to allow them to win this game.
Out is Brett Hundley and the rest of the offense as they'll take over here. He's continued to play well in the third quarter. Now they've got the lead after trailing at halftime, so he's just looking, I guess, to continue the same recipe.
I agree totally, and you know you can get it done without your quarterback playing well, but it's so much harder to do. When he's playing like this, everyone feels better about their chances, and they're playing really well at this point.
Yeah, they are. They have to be feeling really good. He'll look to throw. But he almost had it defensively. Could have been a game changer there in this second half. Instead, it's third down. They're looking for a spark defensively. When he went for that ball, probably thought he had a chance at the pick. Now, remember, they had 2 last week in the win. Obviously losing here.
Well, you talked about looking for a spark, and the best sparks are when you make big plays for your team, and he had that opportunity there. Couldn't haul it in, but that doesn't mean they're going to back off at all. They figure if they can get one of those takeaways, they can spark their team to a win. Partner, the way this offense has marched up and down the field during this game, it's almost a surprise to see an incomplete pass on third down, isn't it?
Yeah, they have had their foot on the gas all game long, but here finally stalling out. Now it's Lockett. A 46-yard punt, 4-yard return. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. And out now come the Seahawks. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted, and we can't do that. If that's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of, they've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice game.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on third down. Davis, he'll try to run for it, and he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th.
So, Brandon, when this offense gathers together to watch tape of this game, they're going to be feeling pretty good about themselves until the coaches get upset about the play we just saw. But you know their defense is going to be. But we put up big points all game long. The defense is going to win one every now and then.
Ty Montgomery and the offense getting set for their next drive. He's had a good third quarter. He likes whatever adjustments were made at halftime, whether those were team adjustments or just him talking to himself.
And whatever that conversation was, it was pretty good because he is running really well here in the third quarter. But I like to think it is a team adjustment. Offensive line, those big escorts of his, they figured out how to block a little bit better. He's found those holes to run through.
He has indeed.
As a general rule, offensive linemen like to know where their quarterback's going to be when he's setting up to throw the football. Sometimes they just have to get on the run, get on the move. He was able to do that on that play, and he picks up the first down with a nice throw.
And he's got this down to the 35. That good for 19 and a first down.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense, because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. They'll look to throw here on first down. Flush to his right. And that is caught on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. The throw took him a little too far at second down. And there we saw rolling right out of the pocket. Maybe his momentum taking him toward that sideline led him a little too far.
Yeah, that is difficult, isn't it? Plus, you're closing down your space, right? You're shortening the field for your receivers. And their inclination is to go towards the sidelines as fast as the quarterback is as well. Hard for them to throttle down to leave themselves with enough room to stay in bounds and catch the ball.
Pretty good running there, 9 yards. Sets up a 3rd and 1.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, Packers. Ty Montgomery with his 2nd touchdown of the game and 5th on the year. And the Packers add on to their lead. So they went to the ground game on 3rd, hoping to pick up the 1st. They also picked up a touchdown.
Offensive linemen so used in this situation to having to pass block. All right, you're looking at what it is, 3rd down. They don't care that it's 3rd and whatever. They figure they're going to throw the ball. And when you call a running play, I think you energize them. I think you juice them up, because I haven't met an offensive lineman yet that likes to pass block more than they like to run block. And they opened up some nice holes there for him, and he took it to the house.
And a nifty return there as he's all the way up past the 40-yard line.
It's the 3rd quarter, and they're down on the scoreboard. And while no one wants to hit the panic button just yet, points are a necessity on this drive. What a great way to get set up.
Russell Wilson now gears up to lead the offense again. He's played well. Good first half. He's continued that here in the 3rd quarter. But my question, when you're a head coach, what do you look at stat line-wise for your play? Do you go right to turnovers?
You really do. As much as coaches don't want to talk about that, that's where it starts. When I played in college, our first rule for every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. And that's kind of how they judge you. Do you take care of the ball, not turn it over, keep it in the proper hands, and give your team a chance to win?
Well, that's what he's done here in this one so far. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get this out past the 45 to the 47. They get 6 here after the incompletion, and it'll leave them with a 3rd and 4.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. From the gun on 3rd down, Wilson. Packer pressure, and down he goes.
My, oh my, they've had some success bringing him off the edge. How about the gambling man who's the defensive coordinator? He's not just bringing pressure, he's bringing a corner to go after the quarterback.
And it's worked twice now, twice like a charm.
And not only has that worked like a charm, he's been awfully disruptive in his usual role covering receivers. Now he's rushing the passer as well.
And this should be the final play before the quarter ends.
Let's go!
They'll start on the ground with Montgomery. And he's going to be stopped here for no gain. And that's going to take us to the end of the 3rd quarter of play. 1 quarter remains here in this Thursday night matchup. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Seattle, Washington. It's Packer football here as they've got the lead as well to begin the 4th quarter. rush defense stout on first down. Here's 2nd and 10 from the 20.
Let's go!
They run. Montgomery. Up past the 25 to the 26. A gain of 5. Charles, you said earlier this defense is probably going to need to hold these guys right around 20 or under that if they were going to have a chance. It was evident pretty early on that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, they left 20 behind a long time ago in this game, didn't they? It looks like they're headed towards a big, big number. But 20 was the threshold because that kept them in the ball game and kept the pressure off of their own offense.
He can run for it, and he will. He opted to go with a scramble, gets 2 yards, and now it's 4th.
And, partner, I would guess that in his headset he was hearing from his coach, it's 3rd down, don't take a sack. And in this case, he's able to avoid the pressure and get out of there. He doesn't get the first down, but he does turn a possible loss into positive yardage.
On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. Returnable for Lockett. That's going to go in the books as a 55-yard punt. Well done. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The Seattle now ready to march out of the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
2nd and 9 now from the 21. Now Wilson on 2nd down. His throw incomplete.
Trying to get that one to his tight end, and they've been trying to get the ball to him, but as of yet, unable to successfully complete one. But you know there's usually a nice comfort zone in throwing to the tight end. Great sight lines, usually right in the middle of the field.
Now Wilson on 3rd down. A dump off for Davis. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. 7 yards on the play, and it'll be 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high-percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen. And that's what friends are for.
As the returner, you know who you're buying dinner for later.
Oh, without a doubt, because he just took care of you and your team in a big way. You know, you turned it over there. That's a big momentum changer and put your defense in a bad spot.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. The drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup. They go play action here on first down. Out to his left. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. They run a draw here on 2nd down. Shreds the tackle. Always got some breathing room. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. And a nice carry there of 15 yards.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
Looking to throw. Steps away. Got an open man. It's Valdez-Scantling. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect him to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
On first down, they'll run it on the draw play. Oh, and now he bowls him over. And he's got room. And now running right through it. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. 17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the fourth as it was way back in the first, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
Back to throw here. Forced out to his left. That's complete right around the 8. Nice job defensively to hold him to 4, and now it's 2nd and goal.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication, and as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
He'll get it up the middle, and the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that is going to set up 3rd and goal. Finally, defensively, they have a little clip to show positive for actually stopping him running the football.
It's been a really long night for them, hasn't it? So they got a little bit of a win there, but let's face it, the vision that he's had running the football has carried his feet to the open spaces and the big yardage all night long.
Only a yard on the pickup there, and it's going to bring up a 4th and goal.
Well, the spotlight hit him once already tonight as he got into the end zone. He was trying to make it a double spotlight, wasn't it?
But credit the defense, bottling him up, not letting him get in for the second score there. So they settle for just the 3, but clearly right now anything helps trying to salt this one away in the 4th.
Without a doubt, obviously a touchdown probably would have been the final nail to finish this thing off, but it's still ate up time, got points, so while it's not mission accomplished, it's darn close.
And they're going to wind up with pretty good starting field position as they get it up past the 35. The Seahawks offense now, they get set to go back to work. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
And that's off the mark, incomplete.
I'm not quite sure how to judge that one. Maybe didn't have enough legs underneath him. Mechanics might have been off. Maybe some fatigue. That one came up short.
Yeah, 4th quarter. Maybe you do start to watch as the arm there, the leg's still there. This has been a tough game. Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Wilson, and he almost intercepted it. They haven't picked a ball off yet. That probably should have been their first. And it's 3rd down now. I guess they're in a situation now, 4th quarter, where they're forced to take some chances, but I don't know that that was the type of a chance you want to take.
And that one could very easily have been intercepted, and if it does get picked off, that could possibly seal this one.
On 3rd down, Davis. And he'll get this up to about the 38-yard line. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it's going to leave him with a 4th down.
He may be a bit undersized compared to the modern-day NFL defensive tackle, but what he lacks in size, he definitely makes up for in his ability to make tackles in the run game as well.
It'll be a 10-yard return following a punt of 45. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point
kicker.
Exactly. You put it through the post. That's going to help him in contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him in contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about that. Super toe.
Here we go.
They'll look to throw. And the Seahawks defense gets to him, and they bring him down. Marcus Smith in there to make the sack. He buries him for a loss of 10.
Brandon, more often than not, you'd say they've had his number, and we can count them up so far. 1, 2, 3, 4 sacks given up. But guess what? He's still been able to make some plays, and right now they have a lead.
Oh, incomplete. Nearly the pick they needed. They would have loved one there, but at least it does get him to 4th down.
I think he's taking an awful chance with the football right there. You've got a lead, you've got to protect it, and he's taking chances putting it out there in a little bit of jeopardy.
Especially in a spot like this, 4th quarter, as you said, trying to cling to that advantage.
Yeah, that one probably should have been picked, huh?
A big kick there. We'll call it 56 yards on the punt. The Seattle offense now set to come back out on the field.
Now, if you're a fan of punting, and I know that not many people are, but this game kind of turning into one for you.
Well, it's okay if it's a skills contest, right? We're really into it then, but not during the course of an actual game. This has turned into a field position game, though. Sometimes a better punter may actually determine the outcome.
And he'll be tackled right on the chalk at a 45. A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick first down. At this stage, this drive's got to be touchdown or bust because you need 2 of them.
And if I'm the offensive play caller, I'm not just looking at my dagger plays downfield. I'm looking at some of my specials, something that can fool them and give you a big play now.
With a sense of urgency.
No doubt.
And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. The completion good for 3, and it's second down. Fourth quarter, every drive's so critical, and you figure may only get one more shot after this, so a touchdown's imperative on this drive.
It is, but you also have to think to yourself in play calling, don't hold anything back. Don't save it for the second touchdown. You got the first one for the second one to even matter.
Here's Wilson toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete. The intended target, Mike Davis, and that'll make it third down.
Well, they're slinging it. And then there's one you got to put a timer on, huh? I mean, that one came in hot.
That came in hot, but overthrown out of his reach and incomplete. Wilson. And he's got a man open. That's Marshall. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. And they convert on third with a gain of 22. You cannot write these guys off just yet. Not with a quarterback like that under center.
You mean it actually crossed your mind with him running the team that you could actually maybe write this game off?
Not yet.
Not a chance. Not with him. We've seen it too many times.
And he's got his favorite target yet again. It's complete. That throw good for 4. It's second down. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give him that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
To throw again is Wilson. Baldwin with it over the middle. And he's able to get it to the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line. On third down, that's Davis. Call it no gain that time, and they're going to be left looking up at a 4th and 1.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
Okay, so thought they might go for it here down late. Instead, they trot out the field goal unit. This will be a 37-yard attempt. And Janikowski bangs it through, and that will get the disadvantage now back down to 11. So yet another field goal to end a drive. That has been a very common theme. He's now hit 5 of them in this game.
Yeah, Brandon, as an offense, you hate that you've had to call on your kicker so often, but you have to love the fact that time and time again, he's come through.
And a great return, solid field position. He's up all the way to the 45-yard line.
At some point, we're going to get it through our heads. Special teams, special teams, special teams. The spark that often wins games.
So good field position for the Packers as they come up 1st and 10. A give. This is Montgomery. And he'll fight his way forward to about the 48-yard line. Earl Thomas in on the stop.
Well, Brandon, pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football, but they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. You know, my music teacher back in New Paltz, Mrs. Bythema Bagley, used to say, don't go prestissimo when you really want to go largo. And what she meant by that is don't...
And a big loss. Here as he's taken down.
Sometimes I watch games and wonder why they use play fakes on certain passing situations because it's not going to fool anyone. I don't know if that was the case here, but the end result was the same. No one fooled. The quarterback was hit.
Now Hundley. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. The former first-rounder, Barkevious Mingo. And that'll bring up 4th down.
And it has been a good game for them. They haven't been pressured very much today, but on back-to-back sacks, maybe the defense is starting to figure something out.
Averaging over 50 yards a punt so far as this one's away. And he couldn't get it to check up. That kicks all the way into the end zone for a touchback. The Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And tough to win games if you're going field goal, field goal, field goal here. They got field goal last time. Now they'll be looking for a touchdown.
They're looking for the big chunk now because, as you noted, the field goal way of doing it makes it that much harder. It puts more pressure on every possession for you now. Go ahead and get 6 and feel a lot more comfortable about the position they're in.
Bigger chunks. We'll see if they can get the score. Great way to start the drive. 20 big ones and a first down. Decent start to the drive there. Of course, they need the touchdown, 2-point conversion, and a field goal.
Yeah, those guys are into it. How about the guys on the sidelines? You see the coaches signaling, all the personnel groups up on the sideline to condense their time now in order to try and get back into it.
Throwing now, Wilson on first down. Oh, there's that man again. It's complete. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9.
This possession means so much for them. They've got to focus on this drive and find a way to make this a one-possession game.
Yes.
Got to get a score.
Yeah, so good with a field goal. Don't necessarily need a touchdown. On 2nd down, here's Wilson. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete. Blake Martinez, the linebacker, was there in coverage to disrupt.
It's always tough for the guys throwing the football when they think they've got a completion and the ball's almost there, and then someone sneaks a hand or two in and bats it away.
On 3rd down, Wilson. They'll set up the screen with Davis. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. And that one good for 16 yards and a first.
All right, this is the time of the game where they're down a couple scores, and they've really got to get some yards in chunks, and they know the defense doesn't want to give those up, but they've got to find a way to take them anyway.
Now the question is, can they string a few of those together? A pair of first downs gives them a 1st and 10 up at the 44. On first down, Wilson. Looking right sideline, but it's incomplete. Brandon Marshall, he had it and lost it, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
Timing's crucial in any route thrown, but when you throw an out, so many things are going through the mind of the receiver. Catching the ball, timing it up with the quarterback. Are my feet going to get down in bounds? On that play, all those things going through his head might have caused him to drop it.
It's caught on the left side by Baldwin. They'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for 3rd down. Okay, so now the question, how did he get that wide open?
Well, we both know that he shouldn't, because from the time they handed out scouting reports before this game, he was circled, starred, everything. Find him, cover him. But sometimes you can scheme a guy open. You put the receivers in a bunch. Maybe you move some motion. Maybe you put them on the backside of a formation, and all of a sudden you've got a better matchup. Every now and then, the offensive guys, they figure a way to get him open, even with everyone keeping eyes on him.
And that's certainly a guy they want to keep trying to scheme open. And in a 2-score game, obviously, every play, every 3rd down, like we saw there, magnified, big pickup.
It was a huge pickup. What they really want, though, is to not even get to 3rd down. They've got to maximize time and conserve as much as possible.
On 1st and 10, it's Wilson. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And they move this all the way down to the 9. And a nice gain of 21 yards. And on that last play there, he's over 400 yards passing now.
You know what that generally means?
Success.
That, and it means you really didn't miss opportunities. Usually very accurate. The ball's getting to the right place. Guys are making yardage after the catch to help you out that way. I mean, the whole team has picked it up. And don't forget, that means the offensive line has had to pass protect pretty well, too.
Yeah, everyone dialed in.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event,
and he is in for the Seattle touchdown. A great play there. His second touchdown of the game, his third on the year. And the Seahawks able to make this a close game again. He's having a nice little game. Maybe already has an eye on that third touchdown.
And how about what our producer, Christian McLeod, likes to say when they've scored touchdowns like this? He's put a tent up in Touchdown City.
Well, I guess the coach looked at the two-point cheat sheet, said go for it, get it to a three-point game, and they did it.
Yeah, and sometimes you just throw out time of game. You don't worry about that. There's just a feel sometimes in making that call, and he felt good about what he had for a two-point conversion, and now they're only down 3 and feeling great about themselves.
And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. A little less than 4 minutes remaining, and the margin for error is small with this slim lead. Operate within your 4-minute offense here, Charles?
Definitely. Remember, the 4-minute offense doesn't always correspond to what's up on the clock. What they need to do is play a little bit of keep away right now. Run the clock down. Make sure their opponent doesn't get the ball back. Their dream scenario, get enough first downs and make them eat up their timeouts so the game ends when you're kneeling down with the football.
They run a draw here on second down. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. A big hitter there, a first down gain of 26 yards.
But they didn't accomplish their goal. They didn't get a stop there, gave up another first down. They have all 3 timeouts in their pocket. I think defensively you got to start thinking about using them here.
I was just going to ask you at what point you think now's the go time?
I think now's the go time. I don't think you sit back and wait because they can take a lot of time off the clock between plays and run 3 to 4 and really put you in a stressful spot.
And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. A little too aggressive defensively, and the flag comes out.
And no one trying to cover is going to like a call going against them, but you have to like the effort there. Went for the interception, just unable to get it, and the flag did come out.
They'll run for it with Montgomery. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. The loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
This is where coaches have to have spent a lot of time going over situations with their players. Because him getting tackled there is not the worst thing in the world. You're going to run more plays, right? Clock's good.
And he'll take this one in for a Packer touchdown. Ty Montgomery taking it in from 4 yards out. And the Packers add 6 to their lead. He keeps carrying the ball into the end zone, and in this one, he's sort of carrying the team on his back.
He's the reason that they lead right now. No question about it. And you talk about on his back, he's not minding the extra weight at all, is he? Carrying that just as lightly as he does the football. Yeah, what a great performance so far.
Those 3 touchdowns, and he's got him in the lead. Crosby on now to kick it away. This is taken at his 4. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
So now they'll come up on 2nd and 10, once again from the 28. 2nd and 10 now, Wilson. And the hit jarred loose. It's incomplete.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. On third down, Wilson. Wide open, it's Marshall, complete. A big 30-yard play on third.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
Here's Wilson. And he's going to find that man yet again, Brandon Marshall. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
So it's Seahawk football as we march toward a conclusion. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. So 3rd and 2, and I count 6 defensive backs out there. Now Wilson. And that's complete to the right side. It's Marshall. And he's able to pick up the first down here before he goes down at the 26. His big game continues. 10 catches now and another first down. Incomplete.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Wilson to throw. They'll lock it with a grab over the middle. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down. Here's Wilson. And this is complete. It's Marshall. And he will reach the 5-yard line before going out of bounds. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. So another third down conversion, and now they've got a 1st and goal. Throwing now is Wilson. And this is caught now for a late touchdown. So hold everything here. This one's not over yet.
I'm not sure win-win is the proper term here, but it certainly felt like it. They got the touchdown they needed, but if I'm on the defensive side of the ball, okay, you got the touchdown, but it sure took you a long time.
Yeah, because offensively there, you're probably hoping for a 1 to 5 play drive. That one ate up a little more time than they were hoping.
You're exactly right, and if you have that 1 to 5 play drive, you actually build up momentum and even more hope. When they had to slog their way downfield, they got the touchdown, but it's almost like, yeah, you know,
doesn't feel right.
Exactly.
Well, for a second there, I had flashbacks to a few years ago, the NFC Championship game for the Packers, but here they're able to hold on.
And many things changed in Green Bay after that game. Personnel, people coaching, the whole deal. And in this case, they get it done. No fail like they had in Seattle.
And able to push his way forward here for a good little game. And now the Seahawks are going to take a timeout here on defense, as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. So they come up on 2nd down. If they can get another run like we just saw, would likely put an end to this thing. That one looks like he'll throw here. On the move to his left. All in all, no gain on the play, and it'll bring up third.
Well, he strung it out as far as he could, and I like the fact that he kept his eyes downfield, but he finally ran out of time and room. But I'll take that over forcing it downfield and possibly having it intercepted.
On third down, it's Montgomery. And he gets it to the 34. Good enough for the first. And now the Seahawks are going to call another timeout, as the clock will stop with 55 seconds remaining in the football game. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10.
Come on, let's go! Run 38!
First down, they run again. Here's Montgomery. And he'll get this down to about the 30, 31-yard line. Now the Seahawks forced to use their 3rd and final timeout as the clock shows 50 seconds to play here in quarter number 4. Have to imagine this will be on the ground as well as they come up 2nd and 7.
Come on, let's go!
Throwing, Hundley. Wide open receiver, complete. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6. A big pickup there, and without question, that should be more than enough to wrap this one up.
These guys are running offense like you drive. The pedal is down, stomped down. How about that? Back-to-back completions. They are rolling.
So much for being conservative and running that football. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
So the myth has been shattered. Every cornerback in the league is not just a cover corner. Some of them will stick their nose in there and make plays exactly as we just saw there. A big loss suffered by the offense after that nice tackle.
And he takes it in for the score on the game's final play, so it doesn't affect the outcome, but a little whipped cream on top to their ending.
Or as our friends in Bayou Country would say, that's a little lagniappe, a little extra on top.
Well, they got the touchdown, but a little risky, even though where they were to run the football in that situation on the final play.
If they give it up somehow, if a turnover is created and they take it back the other way, instead of a comfortable victory that they've got now, they've got a lot of explaining to do about why they tried to run the ball in that situation instead of just taking a knee and icing it.
But thankfully for them, they won't have to do any explaining. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong, whatever you call.